Meghan Markle has had one of the most active and purposeful years of her public life. And when you step back and look at the bigger picture, it becomes clear that what some critics call scattered is actually a deliberate evolution. Over the past 12 months, she has expanded her creative voice, deepened her business ambitions, and stayed firmly committed to the values that first drew so many people to her story. This is not the pattern of someone unsure of who she is. It is the pattern of a woman building a modern, multidimensional career on her own terms. Meghan has always been clear that she is more than a single label. She is a philanthropist, a media producer, an advocate for women, a mother and a businesswoman. Expecting her to compress all of that into one narrow lane misunderstands both her ambition and the reality of today's celebrity landscape. In a world where influence is built across platforms and industries, Meghan's ability to operate in several spaces at once is not a weakness. It is a strength. Over the last year, audiences have seen her return to long-form conversation through podcasting, reconnecting with the thoughtful, empathetic communicator many first admired during her early advocacy work. Podcasts allow Meghan to do what she does best, which is listen, ask meaningful questions, and give space to stories that are often overlooked. This is not about chasing trends. It is about using a powerful medium to amplify voices and ideas that align with her long-standing values. At the same time, her work with Netflix has continued to show a different side of her creativity. With Love, Meghan is not just a show. It is an extension of her personal philosophy around connection, care, and intentional living. Across 2 series and a festive special, viewers have been invited into a warm and reflective space that celebrates kindness, community, and everyday joy. That kind of content may not scream controversy or shock value, but it resonates deeply with the audience it is meant for. Quiet success does not always make the loudest headlines, but it builds loyalty and trust. Then there is the launch of her lifestyle brand, As Ever. This move in particular signals long-term thinking. Lifestyle brands are not built overnight, and they require patience, consistency, and a genuine relationship with the audience. The enthusiastic response from her supporters shows that there is real appetite for products and experiences rooted in Meghan's aesthetic and values. Fans are not just buying items. They are buying into a feeling of warmth, mindfulness, and intentional living that Meghan has consistently embodied. Some commentators have suggested that moving across podcasting, television, and business looks unfocused. But when viewed through a wider lens, these ventures are connected by a clear through line. Storytelling, community, and empowerment sit at the heart of all of them. Meghan is not randomly hopping from project to project. She is building an ecosystem where each element supports the others. The idea that the public does not want more from Meghan but wants clarity deserves a closer look. For many supporters, the clarity has always been there. Meghan's focus has consistently been on using her platform to uplift, to create, and to inspire. What unsettles critics is not confusion, but the fact that she does not conform to a single, easily controlled narrative. The suggestion that she should narrow her focus to 1 or 2 areas like philanthropy or female entrepreneurship overlooks an important truth. Meghan has already shown that she can do both and more. Her philanthropic work with Prince Harry has never stopped, even during periods of intense media scrutiny. Their foundation continues to support mental health initiatives, community resilience, and opportunities for young people. This work is not performative. It is sustained and quietly impactful. Prince Harry's role alongside Meghan is also crucial to understanding the bigger picture. Together, they operate as a partnership grounded in shared values. Harry's lifelong commitment to service, shaped by his experiences in the military and his charitable work, complements Meghan's advocacy and creative vision. When they collaborate on philanthropic projects, the result is a powerful blend of compassion, action, and global reach. Looking ahead to 2026, it makes sense that Meghan may choose to place greater emphasis on as ever. That is not a retreat from her other work. It is a natural next step in building something enduring. Successful brands often start broad as they find their voice, then refine and deepen as they grow. Focusing attention does not mean abandoning creativity. It means nurturing what is already working. At the same time, there is every indication that philanthropic efforts will remain central. For Meghan and Harry, giving back has never been optional or seasonal. It is woven into their identity as public figures. Whether through behind-the-scenes funding, hands-on visits, or strategic partnerships, their commitment continues regardless of how much media attention it receives. Questions around whether with love Meghan will return for another series are interesting, but they are not definitive measures of success. Renewal decisions involve many factors, including scheduling, creative direction, and strategic priorities. Even if the show evolves or takes a pause, the impact it has already had remains. It has added a softer, more personal dimension to Meghan's public work and strengthened her connection with viewers who value authenticity over spectacle. One of the most telling lines from recent commentary is the acknowledgement that when Meghan is at her strongest, she is impactful and influential. That has always been true. Influence does not come from standing still. It comes from growth, from experimentation, and from the courage to try new things, even when criticism is guaranteed. Letting her work speak louder than her story is advice that Meghan has already been following. Despite relentless media narratives, she continues to produce, to build, and to give. She rarely engages directly with critics, choosing instead to invest her energy into projects that align with her purpose. That restraint is not weakness. It is discipline. Consistency does not mean repetition. Credibility does not mean limiting oneself to a single role. In the modern world, especially for women, credibility often comes from showing that you can navigate multiple spaces without losing your core identity. Meghan has demonstrated exactly that. There is also an important cultural context to consider. Women who diversify their careers are often labelled unfocused, while men doing the same are praised as dynamic. Meghan's journey challenges that double standard. Her willingness to explore different avenues is part of a broader shift toward redefining what success looks like for women in the public eye. Supporters understand this intuitively. That is why her fan base remains engaged and loyal. They see not a woman flailing for relevance, but one intentionally shaping a future that balances creativity, business, family, and service. They see someone who refuses to be boxed in by outdated expectations. As 2026 approaches, the idea of a reset year can be reframed in a positive light. Not a reset because something went wrong, but a reset because growth requires reflection and refinement. Meghan has never been afraid of evolution. Each phase of her life has built upon the last, from acting to advocacy to global influence. Prince Harry's presence in this journey adds another layer of stability and purpose. Together they have weathered extraordinary pressure and emerged with a clearer sense of what matters to them. That clarity is evident in their choices, even when those choices are misunderstood by commentators looking for simple narratives. Ultimately, Meghan Markle's recent years tell a story of momentum, not confusion. A story of a woman embracing the complexity of her identity and refusing to shrink herself to make others comfortable. Whether through, as ever, philanthropic initiatives or future creative projects, her impact continues to unfold. The conversation should not be about whether Meghan is doing too much. It should be about how rare it is to see a public figure so committed to aligning success with values. That is the real story, and it is one that will continue to resonate well beyond 2026.